Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a quick video for you today on this sheath that I made for Leatherman MUT. And one interesting feature about this particular tool, if you haven't already checked it out, this is designed as an EOD tool. And EOD are essentially bomb disposal squads in the military. And so this tool was specifically designed for them. It's got a lot of very specialized gadgets on it, but don't rule it out if you're a civilian. This is just a great all-around Leatherman. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is a very, very heavy-duty tool. So I really love this thing. In any event, this one's going to Anthony out in California, and Anthony asked me if I could make his sheath a horizontal carry. So he wanted to wear it in the small of his back and draw right-handed. Excuse me. So this is how it's going to look as he's wearing it. He'll be on his back and he'll just reach back and grab the tool out. You guys probably noticed that this doesn't have real extreme definition. It's just sort of a molded tube for the multi-tool to fit into. And this is by design. One of the things that you run into when you mold multi-tool holsters is that typically there's some kind of some kind of washer or disc or really wide-headed torque nut or something like that sitting at the axis, and because it's got so much contour, it winds up being the broadest part, the widest part of the tool. So if you have the widest part of your tool sitting in the deepest part of your holster and you go to draw it out and your whole thing is molded very tightly to all of the nooks and crannies, you wind up with essentially a situation where either you can't draw it out, or when you do draw it, it's going to be really hard and cumbersome to do so. So I typically don't do that kind of super high definition sheath when it comes to multi-tools, but what I tend to do is create these tunnels, and I like something like this. This is not a symmetrical tool, so if you did mold it really tightly, you would only be able to orient it one way. But what I do is I mold it the way I do so that you can turn it around. And the reason I do that is because, multi-tools have tools coming out both sides, unlike most knives where you just have the one cutting edge. So it's sort of a given with most, a gun or a knife, which way it's going to go into the sheath or holster. But with a Leatherman, I mean, at least in my use, half the time I don't even know which side I'm looking at until I kind of pull a couple tools out and see. So maybe I'm just the harebrained one here, but I think it's a nice feature to just be able to put it in either way. Yeah, great retention this way. Pull it out, flip it around. You got great retention this way. So it works either way. It's kind of a trivial detail, but I like having that option. And yeah, that's about that. So I own this MUT. I am making sheaths for the MUT, so if you're interested, just let me know. I can do these ready to ship. You don't have to send yours to me. And I am trying to grow my Leatherman collection. So, and not just Leathermans, but other multi-tools as well. So let me show you real quick some of the other multi-tools that I've got on hand, and let you know that I offer the same trade deal as I do for knives. So if you're looking for a sheath, if you're looking for some custom Kydex for whatever you've got, but you also have a Leatherman or some other multi-tool that you'd be willing to part with, I would give you credit on a trade. So you give me your Leatherman, say, and I'd say, okay, well, what are we deciding? We would discuss what we decide the price of that Leatherman is, and you would get that much off of your order. And in some cases, I'll even owe you money. Some people just want like a TDI, like a basic TDI sheath, which is only $40 or $45, depending on what you're doing to it. But they're giving me a $150 knife. So, obviously we're going to work some deal out there. But just in case, if you guys do have something, let me know. I'm really interested in growing my multi-tool collection because I love these things and I love doing sheaths for them. So I've got the Leatherman MUT. I've got a Leatherman Sidekick. I have a Leatherman Skeletool. And possibly my favorite multi-tool of all time, I've got the Leatherman OHT, and this is the sheath that I do for them. A lot of you guys are aware of them. So what happens when you start drawing this out, you can see, obviously, the pliers are going to be down here. You start drawing it out, and when you pull it out, the pliers come out. So It automatically deploys your pliers, and whoops, and it automatically collapses them as well. It's a pretty cool sheath. So anyway, the OHT I think is my favorite multi-tool of all time. Really nice. I also have the Leatherman Raptor, and these are like EMT trauma shears. I've got a couple other features on them. They're pretty sweet. And I've got Gerber MP600, the needle nose version, as well as the diesel version. Some Ozark Trail thing my little sister got me. I love this thing. I know guys, Ozark Trail, not the most reputable or heavy duty or anything, but this thing's actually pretty nice. Especially if I'm looking at just kind of doing some beater tasks and need some pliers. I love these things. They are spring loaded, or whatever you call it, spring open. So anyway, keep that in mind, guys. If you guys are looking for a Leatherman sheath or multi-tool sheath, I'd love to build that for you. If you have a Leatherman multi-tool of any kind that you want to part with or be willing to part with in some kind of trade, let me know. I'd love to work that out with you. So, all right, guys. Appreciate you sticking it out for my rambling. If you like this sheath, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like my channel, subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this thing, and share it with all your buddies. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Stick around for the next one. God bless.